Hello everyone and welcome to another video. So here we have sweet little Holly. Holly is a 3-year-old cockatiel who is with me for rehab. She was not surrendered to our organization. She has owners, but I'll do a close-up or insert photos as well so that you can really see. But her left eye is really swollen and has an abscess, and she had or still has like very congested sinuses and stuff. She's also very underweight and her feathers are in really bad like quality, and all around she's not doing too great. She's okay, but she's got a lot of work and she's got a long way to go before she'll be fully healthy again. So Holly's owners did take her to the vet, but unfortunately the vet they took her to didn't really prescribe the right medication, and there just wasn't any improvement after a couple days on this medication, and understandably her owners were concerned. But as it is with exotic pets like birds, vet care and medication is expensive. And they unfortunately couldn't afford, more vet bills, more medication bills, more tests and everything. So they reached out to us to ask for assistance. So now obviously as a rescue we can't just pay for the entire country's... Oh, let me move her. We can't pay for everyone's vet bills. We have so many of our own birds to pay for. But on occasion we can afford to help a supporter or two of ours. So how this all started was a year ago. There was someone on Facebook who posted about the African grey who was extremely sick, and they said they can't pay for a vet, what should they do? And at the time we reached out to them and we said, look, please just bring the bird to us and we'll help, because we just couldn't let a bird just die without doing something when we had the means to help. And one of our team members in Joburg took the bird in, took it to the vet and nursed him back to health, and that's how we started Project Rey. It was an African grey named Rey, and that's what it's named after. So then a couple days ago, Holly's owners reached out to me and they explained the situation, and at first I wasn't sure what was wrong with Holly. It's something I hadn't seen in person before, but after thinking about it for a little bit I realized what the situation was, and after getting more information, Holly and the other cockatiel that they have were being fed just sunflower seeds and a little bit of millet, and on the packet it says cockatiel food. So people, you just go to the random shop, you look for you want to buy food for your bird, it says cockatiel food, fine, we'll buy it. And that is what led to that. She has been like nutritionally starved on that diet, and they just didn't know any better. And unfortunately we can't blame people for not knowing better, because it's a case of you don't even know what you don't even know. And sure, we would like it if everyone would research pets, even if you think you know it all. Rather do the research, because people are always making new discoveries every day, and as technology develops and we learn more about the world around us, new information is released. So there's never a point where you can stop learning, and that applies to all facets of life. So while we would like to say that, it's kind of understandable that people would think that there's not much more to birds, because you learn a parrot beak looks like this because they eat seeds, and you just go to the shop and you don't think a pet shop would sell things that have devastating health effects such as this, but they do, because for most businesses, or most pet shops, can I say it like that, their main thing is just profit. They need to have a profit to survive, profit to keep their business up, and if it costs too much time, and in business time is money, to educate every single owner that comes through the door, I don't know, it's just Holly, yeah, it's just a lot of pet shop owners and the people who work there don't care enough. And it's honestly worse when they do know that you're supposed to feed pellets, or they do know that pellets exist and they just don't bother to tell anyone, because I suppose they don't realize how serious. They probably know, like, okay, yes, pellets are on the market. They don't realize how essential it is to feed your bird, you know, things other than just seeds. But in any case, so Holly is with me, so that, because I have a lot of like supplements and vitamins and all sorts of things that I can give to her to help her heal and to get her body, you know, get her strength back and such. And it's been challenging because she doesn't eat much. So like I said, she is underweight, so I've mainly been feeding her baby parrot porridge. That way she can get in lots of nutrients but also gain some weight. So I haven't been focusing on like diet transition just yet, mostly just, I don't know, getting her weight up, getting her strength up and such. So I've been giving her a little bit of pain medicine in the morning and a little bit of other medicine as prescribed to our vet. We took her to a different vet, the vet I always take birds to, and he was shocked when he saw her. He actually went speechless and just put his hands on his head, and he just froze when he saw her. So if that's any indication of how serious this is. But yes, so she stayed at the vet for like 3 days or 2 nights, and the vet made incisions on her eye to try and drain some of the abscess fluid, which he did. But I think he was mainly just trying to get as much of it as he could, but he also wants to make sure that she can be stronger and healthier if she does need surgery. I'm going to chat to the vet again one of these days soon to discuss further treatment, because her eye is still very swollen. The abscess is still very much there. But yeah, like I said, it's mostly been about getting her body healthy and in a, you know, in a state that it can fight off the abscess, you know, the bacteria and stuff. I've also been adding like supplements to her water every day. She doesn't get water if it doesn't have supplements in it. Just every opportunity I can to get extra nutrients and, you know, supplements into her, that's what I'll do. I also added a tiny bit of extra calcium to the porridge. Just, you know, she needs a booster all around. Today I made these little birdie bread things, or I made it in little muffin cups, so that's why it's all small. And I topped it with some sesame seeds just for presentation's sake, I suppose. So she hasn't tried this yet. I've only just put it in her cage and then I took her out to film this. But in the meantime, while she's with me, the owners are transitioning their other cockatiel and making sure that their other cockatiel also doesn't get serious health concerns like Holly does. And they do feel terrible about this, and they really just did not know. So that's at least good. You know, we wouldn't, or we don't want to help people just for them to continue with the bad behavior that led to it in the first place. You know, we want to help people, we want to educate them, we want to make sure that, you know, they understand their responsibility so that this doesn't happen again. And Holly is just the absolute sweetest bird. She loves cuddling up in your neck and just wants attention non-stop. She is honestly so sweet, and it's tragic that, you know, this had to happen to her. I mean, obviously we don't want this to happen to any bird, but it breaks your heart even more when it's such a loving little bird that wants nothing more than to be loved and cared for. And another thing is, I actually think she doesn't have a lot of her down feathers, which is the same situation as Pikachu. We have a whole series on Pikachu, and especially on her head. She looks particularly like all ratty-tatty on her head, and I think that's, you know, a combination of the feathers that are there are really poor quality, but she also doesn't have those fluffy cockatiel feathers. Or the ones she does have, they're kind of stringy, and I don't know, they don't do that whole fluffy thing, so it just doesn't look the same. Also on the first, no, not the first day, the second day, or the first morning that she was with me at my house, she started sneezing, and she was just really struggling to breathe and just sneezing, and I was just following her around with a little tissue and wiping her nose off, and I was really worried that she couldn't breathe and there's like fluid in her lungs and in her respiratory system. But when I phoned the vet, they actually said that they were happy to hear that, because it means that all of the junk that's in her respiratory system is loosening and she must sneeze it out. So that was a good thing. The day after that, she was also a bit sneezy. Today I wasn't here most of the morning, but I assume it's usually in the mornings when she kind of goes through that whole thing of a bit, you're struggling to breathe and sneezing it up. But yes, when I phone the vet to talk about, you know, what's next for her treatment, I'm also going to talk about perhaps doing another sinus flush. So please, when people want to educate you about updated pet care, and they do it from a respectful point of view, or in a respectable manner, please take the time to hear them out. You know, most people really just want what's best for the animal. It has nothing to do with thinking that they're better than you, or I don't know, other reasons why people might think things, but we really just want what's best for the animal. And when we say don't feed seeds and that, it's not, I don't know, like we said, it's not for any other reason than just what's best for the bird. Our captive birds are so different from their wild counterparts in terms of like what their lifestyle is, and then so you can't just say, well, this is what they eat in the wild, so that's what they're going to eat in captivity. And also, if you think about it, sunflower seeds or sunflowers, they don't grow just naturally all over the world, and you can, if you want to be very specific about it, they like with cockatiels, I don't think sunflowers are native to Australia. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. And I mean, in the wild, the cockatiels and a lot of birds, they're mostly eating like sprouts and things, like where it's the live version of the seed. It's not this dry seed that's been sitting in storage for months in a warehouse, losing its nutritional value, being filled with fungus and mold and whatever. So please just be open-minded when people try and give you advice, and look into it. If you look further into it and they are wrong, then, you know, they were wrong. But if you look into it and there's a lot of evidence suggesting that they are right, you know, by all means, change your ways and do what's best for the animal. If you would like to donate to Holly's medical bills, you can have a look on our website under the donate page, all the ways that you can donate to us. So thank you all so much for watching, and I really hope you've learned and seen now why everyone keeps saying a diet of just seeds is not healthy. And I truly believe that it's not Holly that was unlucky that happened to her. It's if your bird hasn't become sick, they're the lucky ones, because this is the result of being nutritionally starved, essentially, when you only feed a diet of one thing, which is just a seed mix. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye!